Good afternoon. I am Andrea Chisholm with the Midday News. A special welcome if you're watching on onespotmedia.com. With corruption issues plaguing Jamaica, the parliamentary opposition is pushing for an update on investigations. As we hear in this report, the call comes amidst a corruption report from Transparency International. The 2019 Global Corruption Barometer for Latin America and the Caribbean confirms that corruption is still a big problem in Jamaica. Just ask the 1,044 persons interviewed. 49% think that corruption has increased in the previous 12 months. 17% paid a bribe for public service in the past 12 months. 18% experienced sextortion or know someone who has, and 12% were offered bribes in exchange for votes. Now, over the past few years, the Education Ministry, Caribbean Maritime University, Petrojam, Petroleum Corporation of Jamaica, NESOL, and the Universal Service Fund are just some of the state agencies involved in corrupt practices.
Recent actions by the government of Jamaica, or inaction one might say, suggests that in the face of this huge crisis that the country is confronted with, the government is in fact normalizing corrupt behavior in public life and in government.
Opposition leader Dr. Peter Phillips on Monday called for an update on the investigations.
No court action is proceeding. No arrests have been made by MOCA or prosecutions instituted by the National Integrity Commission. The board of the PCJ, which had supervisory responsibility for Petrojam, remains in place. There's clearly a pattern of conduct here.
In a release late Monday, the government said it would not interfere with any investigations. The Andrew Holness administration said they believe in the rule of law and is a champion in the anti-corruption fight. Director of Public Prosecutions Paula Llewellyn is challenging members of Parliament and the police to do more in communities to reduce the high crime rate. She was speaking at a recent symposium hosted by the Seventh-day Adventist Church in St. James.
When you go about in your constituencies, why is it that nobody focuses on saying to somebody, listen, if you do not work, you don't have any skill, you cannot get or have 9 children.
That question from Director of Public Prosecutions Paula Llewellyn to members of Parliament. The nation's top prosecutor laments that single-parent households with too many children often leads to lack of parental attention. This, she believes, promotes criminal activities among youths.
When the children are being brought up in a situation where the mother or the father doesn't have any time to read to them, they don't have any time to look at the schoolwork, they don't have the time or the space to encourage them, they don't have the time to go to the school to find out what is happening, they don't have the time to nurture, and they are busy following this dance, going to that dance, you are going to have unattached youth. And when you have the unattached youth, that is what drives the crime. When you have these people who show this carelessness in terms of parenting, be prepared to follow up on it.
She's also calling for the police to go after irresponsible parents and caregivers.
According to Deputy Commissioner Clifford Blake, up to 40 children have been found island-wide at various venues. Babies in prams found at some of these dances between 2 and 3 a.m. Where are the parents? If they see women at a dance with babies in a pram, they must prosecute them under the Child Care Protection Act.
Prince Moore, TVJ News.
One man is dead following a motor vehicle accident along the Lanell Town Main Road in Clarendon on the weekend. It's understood that about 6 o'clock Sunday evening, a pickup heading towards Maypen crashed into a coaster bus heading towards Lanell Town, also injuring 23 persons. The dead man has been identified as Herlan Davis of Friendship in Brownstown, St. Anne. According to eyewitnesses, the driver of the pickup was overtaking a line of traffic when he lost control of the vehicle, which slammed into the coaster. 5 persons remain in hospital in critical condition, including the driver of the pickup. A man told TVJ News what he saw when he arrived on the scene.
I run out of the bus and look along the road, and when I look along the road, I just see people string out on the roadside. So right away, me and my son just get to work and just start pick up the people. Them take up 6, put in the police jeep, come down, put 8 in my son van, and come down, and bring them down, go back up again, and take up the next 2 and come down. So that's all I can say now. How did them hurt though? Well, nobody was moving. Nobody was moving. Everybody unconscious. People here, but some people afraid to take out.
Meanwhile, another accident in St. Mary on Monday left 2 persons dead. They are Tyrone Thompson of Geddestown and Marlon Roberts of Port Maria. A Nissan Ad-Wagon heading towards Arocabessa got out of control and hit a truck which was traveling in the opposite direction. It's understood that a young girl who was traveling in the car was found on the road and was assisted to
come
hospital.
back at this car where in the accident. And me just see the car just take across the road. And I say, what the hell is this? What wrong with this car? And the truck man come down and the truck man try everything to save him, try to avoid the car from licking it. The truck man couldn't do nothing at all, trust me. I don't know what happened, just the car just swerve across the road and just go slam right into the truck. The truck man tried, but he could never ever do nothing better than when do, because he try. He see it and he try everything. Because you can see how the truck set now. The truck basically they cross with the road and a rock up is where to come from.
More concerns this afternoon from residents and business people in Southeast St. Elizabeth about the impending fallout from the suspension of works at bauxite company Alpart. The plant is to be officially closed on October 14, resulting in hundreds of jobs being lost. The plant is, however, expected to reopen in about 2 years. Until then, workers and residents are being urged to find alternate means of revenue. However, some are not optimistic.
Farming takes time, some to come in, you know, much if you have a goat, people, a plan to take it from you, more thieving is going to go on in the community and so on. So, you know, things is down.
If the plant close back down, we need the land around the plant to do some farming, because we can't just sit down and look in our country just like that. So we ask the government, we talk to the China them, make them can give the land around the plant, long as them close the plant.
And it's time for a break here on the Midday News, but stay with us. We have more stories right after these messages. Welcome back, and we're continuing the news. The St. James Police are now on the hunt for 37 individuals on their most wanted list. In an interview with TVJ News yesterday, Crime Officer for the Division, Deputy Superintendent Bertland Reynolds, warned that the wanted persons are armed and dangerous. He listed the main suspects.
Delano Wilmot, otherwise called Preke Boy of Mother Lane, Retrieve, St. James. Shaniel Luton of Farm Heights, St. James. Arnold Gale, O.C. Gay of Norwood, St. James. Christopher Boyd, O.C. Plank of Norwood, St. James. He frequents Highland Avenue, Kingston, Haight. Also, Brandon Williams, O.C. Messi of Gordon Crescent, Granville, St. James.
DSP Reynolds says the police are faced with issues with the wanted men.
These persons, relatives and friends are harboring these persons, and there are some traces of evidence that suggest that they have been assisted to escape the police by persons who are very close to them.
The family and friends of a little boy who died in the Percy Junior Hospital yesterday are blaming medical staff at the facility for his death. They claimed it was due to negligence that 8-year-old Javari died in his mother's arms, and they demonstrated in front of the hospital, which is on the border of Clarendon and Manchester, this morning. A relative told TVJ News that the child's mother turned up at the hospital yesterday with a referral from a private doctor that they should admit Javari.
Now, she took the child over by the Percy Junior Hospital, which is located in Clarendon, from 2 o'clock, and nobody looked. The nurses, they threw down the letter, nobody paid her any mind until about 2:07 when her child died in her arms. You mean to tell me that she was here from after 2 until 7 o'clock when her child died and nobody responded, nobody looked?
Opposition leader Dr. Peter Phillips is again defending the choices he made for his shadow cabinet. At a press conference on Monday, he was asked why Dr. Dayton Campbell, who was the shadow health minister, was booted this time around. Dr. Campbell supported Peter Bunting in the leadership race, and for Dr. Phillips, he signaled his intention to reorganize the shadow cabinet long before there was a leadership runoff.
We know where Dr. Campbell was, but we also know where other members of the team were. They have been appointed, reappointed. Some have been left out. I am struck that the assumption is made that the leaving out has to do solely and exclusively with the position that he took in the campaign. It's not supported by either logic or evidence.
A curfew has been imposed in East Kingston following last week's flare-up of violence in a section of Mountain View Avenue. The curfew began at 6 o'clock yesterday evening and will remain in effect until 6 p.m. tomorrow. The boundaries are north along Deanery Drive from the intersection with 4th Avenue to Mountain View Avenue, east along Mountain View Avenue from the intersection with Deanery Road to Langston Road, south along Langston Road from the intersection with Mountain View Avenue to 4th Avenue, and west along 4th Avenue from the intersection with Langston Road to Deanery Drive. A probe by the police revealed that misinformation about building material at a construction site led to the violence which left a man dead. The security forces were deployed to the area. And in sports, following the country's second highest ever medal haul at the World Championships, some of the heroes of that performance returned to the island on Monday, beaming with pride. Trishana McGowan met them at the Norman Manley International Airport.
World Championship silver medalist Frederick Dakers was all smiles on his return to the island after his historic performance in the men's discus throw. Dakers, who was second behind Daniel Stahl of Sweden, became the first Jamaican to get a podium finish in the event at a major senior championship.
Well, I think for ambitious to us, the word ambitious, because I think this shows that it can be done, simply that it can be done. We've normally watched, the guys from Germany, Sweden, all different other countries, actually get medals and stuff like that. So for us to actually have someone on the podium, that says a lot, and shows vision.
Dakers' training partner and friend Travis Michael was happy to witness Dakers' achievement.
I think it's encouraging, and I think they look up to us. And all we want to do is continue shining the light for Jamaica throws, so that when we are gone, you have others that can replace us.
Thank you very much, Trishana. And that's the Midday News. I'm Andrea Chisholm. Join us at 7 for the Primetime News Package. On behalf of the news, sports, and production teams, good afternoon.